we are so grateful for this time, and thank you, Father, for our students and our faculty staff who joined us. And I do pray, Father, this will be a profitable time, not only for the students, but also for all the faculty staff as they teach and doing research. This will be a profitable topic for them to continue to improve and increase. Thank you for this time, and bless our time together. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Now we're going to emphasize this is enhancing faculty and professional development training. And we have a whole year plan, and this is a night faculty professional development training already. So today our topic is ethics and integrity in teaching and research. Now this is an important topic because a lot of time we may get into certain kind of plagiarism, but we don't even know. And so the plagiarism not only included direct plagiarism, but also sometimes accidental plagiarism, which means that you don't know that you already copied other people, but did not properly and honestly recite the place that you're supposed to quote and cite. So that's the difficulties for a lot of the teaching and research. Even teaching, sometimes you quote something and you copy something, you actually base on something that yet you have not yet delivered or let the students or the people know. Now, that is also in some aspect plagiarism. So what we want to do is to let you know how we can properly, honestly, with integrity, to present documentation or knowledge or teaching or research in a proper way. And so, first of all, before we start, I would like you to know that all those information that I present to you, actually I did it from AI. Now, you need to know how to use AI in order to correct this information. So I give you the place and you can click on and then you'll find all of it there. So it's very important. In this time, in this age, you need to not only know how to do research in books, documentation, all kinds of journal. You also need to use computer and AI. AI is a humongous data. Always need to present that this is not your creation. This is your borrow, or you use AI, those kind of data to create those kind of things. Okay, now this is a night Senate meeting, and 9 o'clock we have registration and fellowship, and 9:15, pretty much 9:15 now, we'll welcome you and have the introduction. I need to have a few minutes to tell you what to do, what kind of gifts that you're going to get. Now, the topic is ethics and integrity in teaching and research. In teaching, for the teachers and faculty, for the research, for students, all are important. And we will have some time to break, and during the break time, we prepare the breakfast and everything's in the other room, and definitely you can enjoy. Now, if we have time, if we don't, then we continue. Okay, usually rapture is always
And then we're going to present some gifts. The real thing is still shipping, so you will get a certificate instead of a real gift. But I will show you what gift you're going to get. Okay. Last time we do have the flashlight. However, the one who ordered did not put the battery in. You still can use. How can you use? Because when you have the flashlight and you connect with the power bank, then you can use the flashlight. But that will be too difficult. So we're still waiting for the battery to come. But today, you're going to get a special gift. And so we're going to have a lunch in Bravo, and we'll give them another chance again and see whether they will give us a good food. And they already promised us, both the boss and the ladies, and said that they're going to provide more foods than last time. So this time we'll give them a chance again. Now, if they didn't do well, then we're not going to go back. But anyway, they promised already, so we'll see. Now, you're going to be given to this particular certificate. And with this certificate, you're going to get this gift. Now, what kind of a gift is this? This is a hot water. You can connect with the power, then you can borrow water. And not only just small, you can actually make it bigger. Okay, so if you don't need that much water, you can just press so that the air become small. And if you travel, this is a very good gift. Okay, so now you have to know that we want you to come, but also we want you to enjoy not only the knowledge and teaching, but also some gifts for you. Now let's start with this definition. This particular topic, ethics and the integrity in teaching and research, will provide an interactive through thorough understanding of ethic principle and their practical application in the academic context. So we are in the academic context, and so we need to understand the ethical principle. Today, nobody really cares about ethical principle, but as a Christian, we definitely need to keep that standard, because that's a biblical principle, and so we need to make sure that we follow that principle. And participants will learn case studies involving ethical challenges in teaching and research. Now, we do have a lot of information we'll be happy to send you, but we are going to mention about the basic concept, and so that you will be able to understand how to what is actually unethical and unintegrated. So that's important. Participants will also learn ethical analysis and propose solutions for the case study. So that's something we also need to cover. So first of all, talk about the definition. The first thing we're going to define is ethics. What is ethics? Number two is plagiarism, and what actually involving to plagiarism. Number three, falsification. That means you actually not only plagiarize, and you also emphasize that this is your own. Now, plagiarism means that you copy other people you didn't tell. But falsification means that you copy others and tell people this is your own. That's even worse, okay? So a lot of things happen. I mean, there's a lot of the modern day scholars, and they have done that. And so you don't know whether they're books really written by themselves. And for example, recently that the Harvard University president being found that the dissertation has not only copy but also falsification. That means she actually present in the way that the material that created by her own. So that's really difficult. So she resigned. But anyway, you probably want to ask why in the early time, the 19th century or 20th century, we have less situation like this. I mean, in my time, when I was young, most of the people, scholars, are very honest. They don't want people to find their plagiaries like others, and they don't want to be falsehood. So they are very honestly to deal with their own works. Why in 21st century people fall into this kind of situation and they don't even feel that that's wrong? Well, this is because the whole society is full of postmodernism. So what is postmodernism? This is influenced the whole concept and behavior. The concept of postmodernism is after the 20th century, and entering the 21st century, this concept of relative truth and under the postmodernism has been spread out to the majority of the society. So the concept is that you have your truth, I have my truth, your truth cannot alter my truth, and whatever I believe is true. So there's no absolute truth, and you can believe whatever you want, but I'm not going to change because I don't think that your truth is absolute truth. So they only believe relative truth instead of absolute truth. So in the 21st century, you have very difficult to require integrity, honesty. So what's happening? All because we have been influenced and being brainwashed by the whole society. And the whole society emphasizes, as long as I have good results, it's okay. What kind of it doesn't matter what kind of a process or method I use. So plagiarism is one of the concepts is, well, I can copy as long as nobody find me and or catch me, then I can do whatever I want. And that's the reason why a lot of students use all kinds of methods and to try to plagiarize, and they copy something doesn't belong to them. So that's really outrageous, but it's very important that we need to change that. Okay, as a Christian, we cannot fall into that kind of situation. So we're going to talk about that plagiarism and falsification, and then we'll also cover integrity. Now, all those information is from created in AI. Okay, of course, I told AI what I want. Okay, so I have that part merit, but the rest AI create. Okay, now if you want to know how to use AI, please make sure to learn it, and then we're going to talk about how to quote from AI. So this is the address that I use AI to create all this information. So if you copy this and click on this, you can check on all those information there. So that's what we're going to do. Now, first of all, talk about the ethics. Ethics refer to the set of moral principles and value and guide an individual's or group's behavior, determining what is right and wrong. So what is the concept of ethics? Ethics is certain kind of a moral principle that as a standard to guide us to make decision. So for Christian ethics is that we use a Christian principle and the biblical standard to help us to make the right decision. That's a Christian ethic. So basically, this ethic is basically is the concept of making right decision. Now, if you are non-Christian, then they have a certain morality, human morality, and making their standard according to their morality. So that's the concept of ethic. But ethic is a bunch of principles that you base in order to make decision, and as a Christians, we want to make a decision according to God's will. Okay, not sometimes not necessarily right or wrong, because from the human perspective, when man thinks right, not necessarily right. But we want to base on God's word to make the right decision according to God's will. Okay? So that's different than the worldly ethic. And so we're talking about actually Christian ethic here. And the Christian ethic is more, the standard is higher than the human ethics. Okay? So that's important, we need to know. Number two, it encompasses concepts like honesty, fairness, integrity, and responsibility, aiming to promote actions that are just and beneficial to society. Now, yes, that is the ethics for the humanism, and their highest purpose and goal is to benefit the society. But what is our highest goal? To please the Lord, right? And to follow His will and His word. So so our standard is not just to mean the beneficial or just according to human society. Our standard is to do everything to glorify God and please the Lord. Okay? So if you have done anything which you cannot please the Lord or satisfies the Lord, then you already fall under the ethic, which is unethical in Christian standard. So it's very important that we need to distinguish with that. What I have given to you is always the humanism concept, but I want you to know that our standard is higher than the normal ethics. But then from another angle, if the human society emphasize certain kind of standard, and we as a Christian cannot even match, well, that's really even, even worse. I mean, how can we face the Lord in the future? I mean, so it's very important that we need to emphasize, as a Christian, we need to have a higher standard than the normal people. If the scholars, they have a standard to reach and then to do, then we should have a higher standard in order to please the Lord. And it's not just match the human benefit of human society. Okay. Now, so let's say benefit of human society is C. And then satisfy God and please God is A. And then you cannot say, well, hey, I'm just a C or D people. I just want to maintain in this kind of standard. Then that's sad, because you are saved. You are already saved. You need to get a higher standard. So please the Lord in everything we do. Glorify Him in everything we do. Now, then ethics serve as a framework for making decisions and respect others' rights and dignity, fostering trust and accountability in both personal and professional contexts. Now that's, again, human is a concept, and but yet that is a standard. And biblically, this is not wrong standard, but this is only the minimal standard that we need to actually fulfill. So The ethic is a principle of making decision. So you need to have those kind of a guideline to help you to make a decision. And when you make a decision, then you need to base on this, whether this decision is going to benefit others, respect others, and then showing the integrities and the responsibility and accountability, all those kind of a godly character, okay? Now, so if you make a decision that only benefit yourself and then cannot benefit others, then you need to rethink whether that's the decision you need to do, okay? So, for example, you go to the cafeteria, you're hungry, and but lining up in behind you so many people, then there's only certain kind of food. What you need to do is to take enough for you, and then wait for everybody to finish their first round and still have left over. Then you take more. That's ethics. But a lot of people don't do that. I mean, they lined up, they come first, and they took everything, and so everybody left everybody no food to eat. That's unethical, right? So we need to understand those are the decisions that we need to do. There's a lot of biblical principle, like we need to consider others, not just consider ourselves. Those kind of biblical principles actually apply, and so make sure that you see those are the important definition, and apply to Christian ethics. Then we have a higher goal to go and higher standards to apply, and so that guides us to make the right decision before the Lord and also before man. Okay, so that's a concept of ethics. And of course, I mean, ethics is one of the topic in the graduate school, in the theology, and we can talk about probably semesters, and not only year, probably several years. And for example, if you make decision, if you want to make a decision, and can you hide Jews in your home, not telling the German that you have Jewish people in your home? Well, can you lie? No, you cannot lie. But you already have Jewish people in your home, and the Nazi came to your door and said that, do you have Jewish people in your home? And you know that if you say yes, they are going to be killed. If you say no, you lie. So what are you going to do? Coming. And so that is actually making decision, and remember that is actually we call ethics. Okay, ethics is making the right decision, and particularly based on the biblical principle. Now, if you know that you're driving a aircraft, and then all of a sudden you cannot control the aircraft, and the aircraft is falling to New York City, and the particular in the area there's a lot of people. You know, if you don't explode the airplane, then you're going to kill a lot of people. So then you have two buttons. One button is that you can eject, then you'll be safe. But then the airplane is going to continue to fall and kill thousands and thousands of people. So the first button is for you to eject, and you will save yourself. The second button is to explode the airplane so that the airplane will not continue to fall to kill thousands of people. So what is the decision you're going to make? Kill yourself, or eject and save yourself and kill thousands of people? Well, that's a decision you need to make, and a lot of times it's not easy decision. Okay, so the Bible says we need to obey authority, but when the authority asks us to deny our God, what are you going to do? I mean, the authority come and then say, if you continue to meet together, we're going to arrest all of you. So what are you going to do? So that's an ethic, Christian ethic. Now, if you want to know the answer after the session, we can talk about that. Okay. Now, there's a lot of things like that, and that's in the Christian ethic. Very interested, but make decision sometimes it's not easy. So you need to consider all the different things. Okay. Now, the first one, the ethics in teaching and researching. In the context of teaching and research, ethics refers to the principle that guide behavior to ensure integrity, fairness, and responsibility. So, if a person created music, and then I borrowed it, or I copied it, but I didn't say this is the composer is so and so. That is unfair, because I creating product, but I didn't give the person credit. So that's unfair. And but when I use that, but did not mention about this the original author, then I am not honest. That's integrity problem. And also, this is not responsible, and because we're not actually pay the person who's supposed to get the benefit with his own creation of product. So that's something we need to understand. Now, sometimes you are going to create something, and people copy your product. If they don't quote you, or they don't mention about your name, then that is also stealing. Okay. Today, we still have a lot of time need to learn that even the wisdom possession or property is also valuable. Okay, so whatever you create with your wisdom and is also a product, and so we need to respect. That's something we need to understand. Now, in China and Asia, there's a lot of copying. Okay, and sometimes we copy, we don't care. And so whatever happened in the Western civilization, either books or movie, I mean, the next day that there's we call it the AA product or AAA product will happen in the Asian market, which is copy, and the copy is sometimes is better than the original one, right? Girls want to buy bags, a lot of bags, something like I mean, the name, brand name. I just don't know why you want to have so many bags. I mean, brand name. But in China, you can buy better bags, better than the original, and cheaper. One time, I mean, only 10% you can get a very nice one. And sometimes a lot of people go to China buy Rolex watch, and then guess what happened? And they think that the watch is better than the original. I mean, but even though you can buy the better one, but it's still you are stealing, and that's not what we need to do. I mean, particular Christian people don't do that. If you purchase those kind of a AA copy or those kind of fake one, you are encouraging the wrongdoing. So that is not responsibility. So we need to refuse those kind of things. And you rather pay a little bit more and to encourage the right kind of right kind of a business instead of to help those people who copy. And so that's important for Christian ethics. Now, in teaching, emphasize the integrity of the scientific process, requiring transparency, accuracy, and the protections of participants' right. So you need to emphasize those people who are involved into your research. For example, the person who provides you some idea, and the book you read, and the quotation you cite. All those things are very important, because this is prepare you to be honest and with the integrity of your research and study. So when you do that, then you're not trying to deceive people to think that you have all those knowledge. But it is important that you learn to cite or quote things that belong to others, and that's protect the participants' right. And when you do something, when you write something, you want people to quote you or even consider you true, right? So that's something we need to do in our research and teaching. And researchers must avoid plagiarism, falsification, and conflicts of interest, while ensuring informed consent and confidentiality. If you want to use something that belongs to a certain company or certain person, what you need to do is to ask them whether they can allow you to use. Now, if they say you cannot, then you cannot use it. Even some pictures that we need to show where we get from, and that's also important, okay? And so that shows that you are not copy without respect the person who created them. Again, most of the people today, they don't care about that, but yet that is very important as we doing the research and the teaching. Ultimately, ethics in both fields, in teaching and the research, aims to promote trust, uphold professional standards, and protect the welfare of learner and research subjects. So this is the important, because if you are willing to protect other people's rights, then other people will protect your rights. And sometimes you create something, even a drawing, even taking some picture, all those things, even some articles you wrote that should have certain right to be respected. Even the students. And so that when you write your own paper, then you did a very good job, and that is some important products that you create. So that should be respect, okay? So that's something we want to maintain, and so that in teaching and research, that we need to maintain that standards. Now, what is plagiarism? The reason why I put the black is to show you this is a very unethical aspect to the area to get involved. Okay, so plagiarism is the act of using someone else's words, ideas, or work without proper acknowledgement, presenting them as one's own. Now, so plagiarism is sometimes you borrow some people's words. Okay, so for example, Dr. Wei always said that's part of the training when you face difficulties. Then you said, oh, that's part of a training when you face difficulties. But you didn't say so. That's what Dr. Wei said. Then that's plagiarism, okay? So something like that, okay? Now, so you need to understand, you always want to quote. Dr. Wei always said that when you face difficulties, that's a part of the training. Well, then you, quote it. And not only you quoted it and show your respect for the person who created, but also you show that you are scholarly and honesty and integrity and responsible for quoting other people's statement or creating, other people's created words. And actually, when you do that, people are going to respect you more than you consider that's your own. Very important, okay? And sometimes you said, someone say, well, even that is better than you just quote and without telling people this is not your own, okay? So it is very important that you see that without proper acknowledgement, then that always would direct people to think that you created it. When you did that, then that's deceitful, and which is plagiarism. Okay, now it involves copying text, paraphrasing without credit, or failing to cite source, whether intentionally or accidentally. So even accidentally you did that, then that is still plagiarism. And so without credit or failing to cite the source, that's something we need to really be careful, because if you don't quote the place that you cite, then that is maybe accidentally, but yet that is plagiarism. Plagiarism is considered unethical because it involves intellectual dishonesty, violates the original creator's right, and undermine academic integrity. So, if you don't quote the place or cite from the original writers or creator, that is serious problem. Unethical because you hide the truth, and which is not what Christian people are supposed to do. So don't do that. Plagiarism is copying the information or intelligence concept you actually do not own. So that's definitely a very, very serious problem. Now, another concept is falsification. Now, they are very close related, but they're slightly different. Falsification is the act of deliberately alerting, fabricating, and manipulating data, results, or information to mislead others or achieve a desired outcome. Which means that you actually falsely present something actually do not belong to you. That's the reason why I mentioned a couple of those professors or president of the famous university. They copy other people's works, but did not cite. And then they they actually face the consequence of dishonesty and unethical, then they have to resign. And several years ago, Liberty has a president, elect a president. And then, unfortunately, the president has been found in his book that he quoted an old preacher, the whole chapter, and he did not mention about this is from other people. And so when maybe he did all other works on his own, but that particular chapter he quoted from an old preacher, and but he did not cite or indicate this is not his own. Now you see that he has, let's say, 10 chapters. One chapter he borrowed from an old preacher, and to present the book and finish the book and then publish the book, and guess what happened? And found out that the whole chapter doesn't belong to him. And then he has to resign from the presidency. Why? Because that's that's an integrity problem, dishonesty problem. And then when Dr. Sadler was here, he also mentioned, I mean, in the scholarly world, there's a lot of people, they publish the books, very famous and good commentaries, but then being found, they copy some other people's work without citing properly. Not only them, the writers was kicked out from all the scholarship society, but the publisher also faced a very difficult damage in their published work. What happened? Because they did not cite properly, so they fall into this kind of a situation, falsification, because they did not tell the truth, and they hide the truth. And even though you can say that, oh, that's accidentally, but again, if that's not true, then that's not true. And so, students, be careful, because when you turn in the paper, and there's a possibility you did not cite properly, and that's the reason why we need to make sure that you understand the procedure. In research, this includes not modifying experimental data, misreporting findings, or alerting records to fit a hypothesis. And so when you're doing the research, and when you try to modify a little bit about the data, but you did not quote, that's still considered falsification, okay? Even though you modified and change words, and a lot of us people will do that, and the particular students, they say, oh, this is so good, and so they copy, but then instead of use may, they use create. Instead of use build, they use made, and those kind of words, they change a little bit, modified a little bit, but yet it's not their concept. Listen, student, it's not your concept. And if this is not your concept, you need to cite. I mean, it is okay. If you borrowed, it's okay. I mean, you just cite it, and the teacher will not think that you're stupid. The teacher will think, whoa, yes, I mean, this student is good. I mean, he did some research. When you copy 10 resources, that shows you do the study and research. But if you copy one book, that's plagiarism. And when you copy one book and did not tell people you copied this book, then that's falsification. You understand now? Okay? But it's okay. Just said that, okay, I mean, I cite from this, and you quote the whole thing, it's still okay. The problem is you quote everything, but yet you don't even say anything. And sometimes for Chinese students, you copy English, translate into Chinese, and then use another translation software, translate into English. And it's different than the original, but you modify the data. You change a little bit data, but the concept is not yours. And so young people, make sure you need to do right. Sometimes a lot of the young people, they quote from the Chinese, translating into English. Okay, then they turn in the paper. And guess what happened? The teacher can translate back to Chinese and then compare with the in the internet, find out that exactly the words. That's copy, that's plagiarism. I mean, you guys smile, that means you did that before, right? No, okay. Well, but that's the way, okay? Listen, don't do what I said, okay? Even though you didn't do that before, but now you say, oh, that is the key. Don't do that. That's a plagiarism, okay? Make sure that you do it yourself. And then sometimes use translation is not wrong, but you need to cite. For example, you use AI to translate. That's okay, okay? Listen, copy people is not sin, but copy other people's work did not tell that you copied. That's sin. You understand the differences now, okay? So falsification is unethical because it distorts the truth. You didn't tell the truth. And undermine the credibility of scientific work. And because this matter, you did not do it precisely, then that's not scientific work, and can have a harmful consequence if relied upon in fields like medicine, education, and policy making. And so that is going to have a very difficult result because that's not yours. And then sometimes you may create difficulties, particular medicine area. Okay, so that's something we all always want to avoid. Okay, let me emphasize: it is okay to call and copy, but you always want to say, "This is not from me. This is from so and so, page so and so," and it will be okay. And you can also say. Writer A said this, writer B said this, writer C says, and then writer Q said this. I mean, you list everybody's concept, and then you said, well, I believe writer B is better. Even that, you quote everybody, you cite everybody, you have all those plays, and then in the end, you make your own judgment or discernment, and then said, I believe so and so is state arguments better, then that is research. And you quote everybody, and you only say few words. It is still research. But if you copy everything, and you didn't say anything, and so the people think that the reader think that you actually created all this, then you deceive people. That's not true. That's falsification. That's unethical. Okay? So copy 10 books, 100 books, it's okay, as long as you cite where you draw those, call those things from. But if you don't say anything and trying to convey or send the wrong message to think that you created them all, then that is plagiarism. Okay, young people, understand that? It's okay to copy, okay? But it's not okay to left blank and to let people think that you created it all. Okay, so I hope that I make it clear already. Okay, so don't let your teacher tell me that somebody copied somebody's plagiarism. Okay, At least, I mean, you guys need to be honest, okay? We already have a lot of the master art of theology students has been caught plagiarism, and so they have been stopped their program already. So we don't want you to do that, okay? Be honest. And integrity refers to the quality of being honest, trustworthy, and moral upright. And so you just want to make sure that you are honest so people can trust you, okay? So that way your degree, your work is, you earned it. I mean, don't let people always question, well, maybe, I mean, this student doesn't really have the ability to do that. You always want to prove that it is your own work. And integrity involves consistently adhering to ethical principles such as truthfulness, fairness, and accountability, even when faced with challenges and personal gain. So if somebody tells you that, okay, I will pay you $1 million and you copy this, well, don't do that, okay? You want to be honest and accountable. And your reputation is more important than the money. And so don't let people to think that you are a thief and stealing other people's wisdom product. Always want to be clean and make sure that you are a trustworthy person, honest person. Integrity means acting in alignment with one's value, maintaining transparency, and upholding commitment. We commit to be honest. We commit to be trustworthy. We commit to be pure before God. And that's something we need to do. And it is essential in building trust in both the personal relationship and professional setting, fostering respect and the reliability. And so, I mean, when we show into the integrity, then that is our testimony. And don't let people to have this doubt in the back of their mind to say, well, will these students or will these teachers or faculty staff will fall into this kind of deceiving? When you show that you are walking the shadow and you still maintain your integrity, then people are not going to suspect you. Okay? Now, there's always people are going to suspect us because men are all deceitful, only God is truthful. So as a Christian, we need to imitate God to be truthful. So even though when I accidentally enter into a very questionable environment and situation, people are not going to question me. You see, I mean, we have a lot of students, and some of the students I just cannot castrify that the students has integrity. Why? Because that students always lie, always behave wrongly. But some of the students, when they've been questioned or face some challenge and being suspected by a teacher, and their teacher report to me, I say, no, never. I mean, that kind of student, this kind of student I know, because he or she will never, ever cheat. And so that is your testimony, okay? Now, if you cannot have that kind of testimony, then your reputation has been ruined. So you always need to have a great testimony and be honest and to have integrity, so when you fall into certain kind of a situation, people will be able to testify for you. You see, today we have seen so many Trump's nominee, And all of a sudden, what happened? That they have been attacked with a certain kind of a sexual situation. And then they have to withdraw. Why? Because, I mean, they probably did it. And not only one, but two. I mean, the defense secretary also being questions about the purity and the morality. So what happened? Well, maybe they have a lot of ability, but yet the problem is if you don't live your life pure and holy, then sometime, somewhere, those sins are going to catch up on you. And so make sure you clean up your life and build up your pure reputation, and so people are not going to question you. And so if you have this kind of integrity character, no matter where you go, you will always be trusted. But if you don't have integrity, everybody is watching you because they don't know, they don't trust you. They don't think that you're going to do the right thing. So they always have suspicion, always trying to watch you because they know that you're not going to do right. As long as you have opportunity, you're going to do wrong. And so if you build up that kind of a reputation, then that's difficult when you face people. No matter whether you work or you serve, you will always be questions. So that's very difficult. So don't do that. Now, this explanation was generated by OpenAI's ChatGPT, a large language model trained on the device data set. And so you can check all this information here. I didn't create all of them, okay? So you can check on that. Okay, let's take a few minutes break, and then let's have some bouts, and then we will come back 10 minutes later. Okay, let's take a few minutes break. in research. Thank you, Father, for this time, giving us the opportunity for us to learn together. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Now, so let's go into directly how to avoid plagiarism. And if you want to avoid plagiarism, you got to have a certain kind of a standard. Most of the scholarship, room, they actually focus on certain kind of a style of writing. And those style of writing will guide us and help us to make sure that we have the transparency, accuracy, and also integrity and honesty. And so we use this kind of a manual in our school. And to guide us and help us, this Turabian style manual is this is a simplified version of the Chicago Manual of Style. Now, Chicago Manual of Style has been adapted in the 30s, 1930s, and since today. So still doing very well. And this is a 6th edition, and you can look at it and check on this book. And this is 8th edition. And this kind of books designed to guide students in writing term papers and the thesis and dissertation. Now, term paper is for the college students. You need to write term papers all the time, so you cannot avoid that. Okay. Now, thesis is for the master's degree. Usually, if they want to graduate with a master's degree, they need to write a thesis. And then dissertation is for the doctorate degree. And if you want to obtain the doctorate degree, you got to have dissertation. So this manual is help for the term paper, college students, thesis for the master's students, and dissertation for the doctorate degree with the precision and the adherence to ethical academic practice. So that is guidelines for us. And I only have the 8th edition that you can look at, but now we already have the 9th edition. And our school already adapted 9th edition. Now, you don't have to purchase the book because I have the PDF. I can send it to you as long as you tell me and say thank you. I'll be happy to give you the whole thing. You don't have to buy. And but this is a very nice guideline to help us to make sure that we follow the exactly the citation, quotation, research, reference, and also bibliography. Now, this is very important. Guidelines and measurements for us to be integrity and ethics in teaching, research, and learning. 9 million of this book have already been sold, and so it's a very popular. Now again, it is the Turabian is the manual of Chicago style. So there's a more complicated manual called the Manual of Chicago Style. So the Turabian is just a simplified version, and which is much easier to use for most of the scholars. So this is the edition we actually adopt. Now, by the way, if you want to see how to write a dissertation, and I have 2 dissertations, so you can, I'll pass along and you can see how you have to follow the Turabians to quote, okay? You have the notes and doing that, and how to quote. And you're going to look at the research, and then you can see that so many books that I quote and cite. It's okay. I mean, it's okay to copy, but you need to tell them where you're copying from. And that's research. If you quote the quotation from the right place. But if you did not cite where you'll find those articles, then you are cheating, okay? So you can see this is my first one, 386 page, whatever, and 336, big volume, very heavy, but yet this is a part of the thing, the quotation that you can look at. Another dissertation I wrote, a little bit smaller, is a bilingual Christian university in mainland China. It's a blueprint for the future university, Christian university. And so, again, I have all kinds of research, quote from different books, and this is also something you can do the reference. And so, how to avoid plagiarism? Turabian's structure support this by making it easier to document and share knowledge responsibly. So you need to be responsible for the knowledge or information you quote. You cannot just say that be sloppy with the quotation. You have to tell them where you'll find and when in the chapel time, we see our preachers usually will quote somebody's word and then give you a place, but unfortunately, some of them did not put a page, okay? Now, so you give them a book, but did not show them which page you quote. That is not helping, okay? So listen, you need to tell them who's the author and which books you quote, and where is the publisher, and which year that you use the book. Because different year, they have different edition, okay? So you need to mention about which year, and then tell them which page. Okay, you didn't tell them which line, but you need to tell the page. So when they have the page, then you'll be the reader will be able to find where your quote from, and that is a proper documentation. And this is a way to structure your paper and term paper and thesis and dissertation. And Turabian's structure supports this. By following the Turabian's guide diligently and emphasizing ethical practice, you can confidently produce scholarly work that meets academic standards, okay? You can do it. Just need to follow the standard to avoid plagiarism. Because if you don't follow those standards that the most of the scholars agree with, then you're going to fall into that plagiarism. And that's the reason why we have the manual that you can follow, and make sure that you follow the standard, and then you won't have any problem, because the scholars already agree with this kind of a standard. Says if you follow all those manual and all those standards, quote this way and cite this way, and with the bibliography on the back, then you are meet the academic standard, and with your scholarly work, okay? So how to maintain ethics and integrity? So the following suggestions are how you can use Turabian effectively while maintaining ethics and integrity. And that's some of the things I want to share with you, so you are not going to fall into that plagiarism, falsification, and so to be questioned about your integrity and your learning. Number one, you need to understand the purpose of the Turabian style. So I share you the manuals. You can just look at it. Every year they have increased different kinds of citing and quoting. Every year they have different editions, because the the world is continuing to grow, and there's a lot of internet with a lot of research engine, and so like there's all kinds of things you can find in the internet instead of a book, and so now how you cite from the internet. Now, by the way, don't go to Wikipedia to find your information. That sometimes are not reliable source. Okay, a lot of students want to go to Wikipedia and they all find all the information and try to copy it. No, that's not scholarly work. Okay, so you make sure that you find the right kind of resource. Now, sometimes you did find from what you call the internet and how to cite those information. That become a new thing. So most of when I wrote my dissertation, mine is probably 4th edition. And so that's all edition. And so a lot of things that they don't have during that time. They don't have how to quote internet, how to quote website, those kind of things. But now 9th edition has all that. And then, but they don't have they don't have the way or the method to how to record AI. Now, if you use AI to generate those kind of information, and you need to have a quotation and all explanation says all these articles or all these things actually generate by the AI. Okay, it's okay to use AI, but you need to quote. This is not yours. This is from AI. Okay, so first of all, understand the purpose and of the Turabian style. Turabian helps structure academic writings by, number one, providing clear rules for formatting, citation, and reference. Okay, now this is 3 important concepts. Number one, formatting. So how much inch on the right, how much inch on the left, how many inches on the top and on the bottom. And when you have a note, what kind of a notes you want to have, end notes or the notes on the page. So that's you need to decide. Most of the scholarly work face on the same page note. So you don't have to turn to the back to find what is the number and the note. So if you look at my dissertation, that is most of the dissertation or book style. And they always have their notes on the same page. Okay. Now, end notes means that you don't have anything on the page, but you need to go to the end to find the notes. So, formatting. And because when you follow the format, then everybody is this kind of format. So when you look at the format, and immediately you can find whatever you want. For example, on the main text, that's what kind of format. For example, they said double space. That's main text. Then with the footnote, which is single space. Okay. Then so you need to follow those format. And the reason why they ask the footnotes to have a single space, that means you can write more words and give more quotation. But for the main text, that's a double space. That means that they want to see the main text in a more clear way. So that's a formatting. Citation means where did you cite? So when you cite, you need to cite correctly. You need to, first of all, know who is the author. Then immediately follow which books, because the same author may write a lot of books. And so author, books, then publisher. where is the publisher? So you need to put the city or the province, and then you need to add the date of the publisher. Okay, so which book, I mean, what year this book has been published. And then finally, you need to have a page to show which page that you quote from this book. So that's citation. And reference, usually that similar to citation, but the reference means that you did not quote from this book, but you did find thoughts and concept from this book. So that's reference, okay? So so you can say that the major concept is from this book. And so that book will be the reference that people can check on, okay? So that's the three important directions that you need to follow. Number two, ensuring consistency and professionalism in presenting research. Now, you cannot follow different style because in the scholarly work or realm, there's different kinds of style writing. APA, MLA, and Chicago style, which is the Turabian style, which, because you always need to know that Turabian style is a simplified style of Chicago style. So what kind of style you need to follow? But once you decide to follow the style, then you cannot change. You cannot change from Turabian to APA or change to MLA. You just need to follow one style. So instead of have different style, we ask all our students to follow the Turabian style to do your college paper. And this will be consistent because we follow one style, and all the rules and regulations that everybody is doing the same. So Christy write term papers this way, and Ingrid write the same way, and so that everybody is in the same style. Then we won't have any problem. But if somebody uses APA, the other uses Turabian, then that will be all confused. And so that's the thing will help us. Helping writers to give proper credit to source, avoiding plagiarism. So that's a very important principle for this particular style. I mean, most of the writing style is going to help you to avoid plagiarism. But Turabian is one of the style we feel the best for our students. So that's the reason why we use that. Now, some of our students before learn APA because a lot of education dissertation actually follow the APA. However, Turabian is still the best way to learn. And APA is much easier than Turabian, so you don't have to worry about that. We're going to talk about that soon. Now, number two, once you understand the Turabian concept, number two, you need to learn the key feature. Now, again, what is our major concept here? How to avoid plagiarism. So the second point, you need to learn the key feature. Number one, citation. Turabians offer two citation systems. Number one is notes and bibliography. When you look at a dissertation, that's the reason why I show you the notes is the footnote. Okay, same page, footnote, and or endnotes. But endnotes is much difficult to check. Most of the scholars don't use that, but you do have a notes. Notes means that on the major contact, and then you have quote something, then you have to have note one, then on the bottom, and you have the notes. That's a notes. Okay. There's different ways of doing the notes. Sometimes in one chapter, same chapter, they have this sequence of the numbers. So they only have the sequence of notes in one chapter. For example, in this for chapter 1, you have 10 notes, then note 1 until note 10. But some of the books, they have the notes continuing. So they have 10 chapters, but then they have 10 notes in chapter 1, and then 11, 12, until 20 notes in the second chapter, and continues until the chapter 10. They have 150 notes. Okay, but if you have only one chapter with the same number, then the chapter 2, the first note, it will be start from the number 1. Okay, so there's different notes that they do. Now, bibliography is using for the end of the dissertational paper. So when you reference certain books, or you think some of the books are important for the research to continue, then you put into the bibliography. And whatever the reference book and the books you do or cite, then you also record it there, bibliography. Very important, because if somebody wants to continue your research and they check with your bibliography, they will probably know more about this kind of subject. And if I write the dissertation or the commentaries on the book of Genesis, and not only I want to show whatever I have present, but I also want the reader to read all other commentaries that relate to Genesis, so I can put in the bibliography. So that's an important principle here. So commonly used in humanities and other days, preferred in social and natural science, and choose the one you instructor specific. Now, so notes and bibliography, that they have different aspects, so you need to make sure that what your instructor or professor desire. Okay, so that's notes and bibliography. That's based on the first concept, citation. Formatting, it guides on margins. We already mentioned how many inch in the from and things. And the from size, usually we use Times Romans, New Romans, that 12 points. That is present desire. But when you look at my dissertation, it's not Time New Romans, it's actually career. That is old style, okay? And but now, because that's the last century, so those dissertations is last century. But new century, 21st century, they use Time New Romans 12 points. Okay, so now you guys want to write dissertation or thesis or term paper, you need to use this kind of style, double spacing and page numbers, numbering. Now, some of the page number is very tricky because some of the page number you need to have a bottom page number, and some of the requires is on the right side. So you need to ask your professor which one they prefer. Number 3 is style guidelines. It covers punctuation, abbreviation, capitalization rules for consistency. Now, this is very important. In the beginning of your paper, you need to make sure that what you want to do. For example, the Bible. And some people use small letter. Some people always use capital letter. God's word, God is capital letter, and the word, whether that's a small letters or capital letter, that you need to make sure that before you start, you are consistent. You cannot, do whatever you like. I mean, in the first page, you use capital capitalized letter, and then second page your small letters, and then that will be confused. In the beginning, you make a decision, and for the punctuation the same. Okay, where to have a comma, where to have a period, and those kind of things. And then abbreviation is also important, because you need to find most of people use for abbreviation. Now, if your abbreviation is unique, then you need to have a page record the abbreviation. Okay, a lot of people like to use abbreviation a lot, particularly today, the young people. LOL, laugh out loud, right? Now, a lot of old guys don't understand. I mean, what is LOL? Okay, so you need to, those are abbreviation. You need to put in the first page and then show people what does that mean. Okay, there's a lot of new website terms or abbreviations. So that's the guidelines you need to start. Okay, now quickly, number 3, incorporate ethics and integrity. Number 1, avoid plagiarism. Always cite your source correctly. Now, if you don't want people to question whether you plagiarize, always cite your source correctly. Okay, don't neglect that. And even though you just borrow the idea, you can cite. Okay, now the more you cite shows the more you study. Okay, if you just copy one book, you don't need to cite, because it's one book. You just say that the Dr. Wei's book, IBID, then you don't have to quote. I mean, just say that everything from this paper is from Dr. Wei's book, right? So that's not research. That's actually pretty much plagiarism. Okay. Now, if you say, okay, this is Dr. Wei's work, and this is what Dr. Judy said, and then Dr. Krista said, well, so many different people, even though in the same family, that's okay. Okay. As long as you cite, okay, that's important. Now, use footnotes or endnotes. That's what I mentioned. There's a footnotes and endnotes for the notes, bibliography style, or in text citation for the author date system. Now, when you cite, you always put the author and the book and the data of date and the page. So that's kind of system that you need to cite. Now, always cite correctly and often. And when you write the draft, make sure that you put where those kind of information that come from. Okay, now don't neglect, because sometimes you read, you think this is good, and then you start writing or copy it, and then you forgot where you're from, where the information came from. Then it's difficult to go back and to find. So when you are writing your dissertation or writing your term papers, and every time you cite something, immediately record it. Otherwise, it's going to miss. I mean, when I writing my dissertation, and I in the beginning, I quote a lot of things, but then I did not write down the place. Guess what happened? I have to delete them all. Why? Because I cannot find the original source, and so it's wasted. So you need to learn the good habit. Every time you copy something, immediately jot down a pencil, paper, or whatever. You jot down where you find those information, and that will help you, save you a lot of time. So avoid plagiarism, maintain accuracy, ensure that all data, quotation, and interpretations are faithfully represented. Okay, so you need to make sure that all the data, all the information that you quote that you record it correctly, accurately, and you don't want to miss something. And we have one coworker and trying to fill the paper, but then he did not copy correct numbers. Guess what? He almost cannot get a visa. I mean, it's just a wrong number. Now see, that is very dangerous. So when you do the research, you need to be very, very careful and doing accurately. Otherwise, it's going to cause a lot of problems. And some of the people writing dissertation says, "Oh, I just quote something," and after all, they are not going to check. You may not know. Some people do check. Okay, so if you give the wrong page, and guess what happened? They check. There's no such a thing. Then your paper will be in doom. Okay, so make sure that you cite actually. Very important. Very important. Acknowledge collaborators. Credit all contributors to your work. Now, if you cite two people with the same concept, don't forget, mention two names. Dr. So-and-so and Dr. A believe this, okay? Because if you quote the same concept, and they all believed in this kind of concept, then you need to put both names. Okay, so that's important when you cite, and also paraphrase thoroughly. If paraphrasing, still cite the source and ensure your interpretation reflects the original meaning. Now that is very important, because sometimes you paraphrase in a way that is not the original guy's concept. And then you actually create your own, and that's wrong. Okay, so people are going to check and say you paraphrase, but the paraphrasing is not the original concept. So when you paraphrase, you need to paraphrase correct and according to the original author. Okay, and that's. You need to paraphrase correctly, thoroughly. Okay. Now, how can I increase my paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is using your own words to explain the author's meaning. Now, that's very important. That is a very important skill. Why? Because when you write dissertation, thesis, or paper, if you don't have this kind of a skill, you're not going to do much. But if you learn how to paraphrase, then you can read a book or page and use few words to explain in your own words. Then you are going to create a lot of papers in your own words. Of course, I mean, when you paraphrase, you still need to quote this concept is from the original authors from this book and from this page. And that will be a very fantastic work. A lot of the problem for the college people today is they don't know how to paraphrase. They only know how to copy. All right? So paraphrasing is not just change verb or change adjective. Paraphrase is digested what the author say, and then using your own words to repeat it. Okay? That is paraphrasing. Now, how can I increase the paraphrasing skill? Doing summary. Okay? Now, a lot of students don't do summary, and they reject learning how to do summary. And so they read and they copy instead of summary. Now, summary is not copying, okay? Copy, I mean, a lot of people read 10 pages and summary, so they copy this phrase and copy this phrase and copy that phrase and put the one page and turn to the teacher. You don't learn anything, okay? The reason why the teacher gave you the summary report is for you to exercise how to paraphrasing. When you learn how to paraphrase, young people, you can do any paper you want. Because you read, you understand, you write in your own words. I mean, that is research, okay? So when you read a book, and then if you have the ability to describe the whole book with 2 sentences, you are, I mean, super students. You can write anything. Why? Because, I mean, this is a great skill that you can obtain in order to write all kinds of books. So I read this book, and this author believed this way, 2 sentences. And this book, the author believed this way. And they are contradicting each other and saying, so you do the comparison, you do the analysis, and guess what happened? That's a great paper. But the problem is that if you continue to copy, then you don't learn anything. That's why our students, research skill is still very low, because you don't know how to paraphrase, because you didn't do your summaries well. So sometimes when I saw students that really digested with the paper or reading, and then use their own words to explain, even though very simple words and the simple English. I mean, that is the light in my life, because I see the light. Why? Because now the students know what to do. But always I saw, oh, copy, copy, copy. Then my heart just sank, and there's a darkness in front of me. So students, let's learn how to paraphrase. And this is one of the most important skills you need to learn. Once you know how to paraphrase through do the summary, now listen, you can pass any subject without any problem. Not only increase your English, but also increase your understanding, comprehension, and then use your own words to explain the very difficult concept. Okay, that's very important. Use your own words to describe the concept. That is paraphrasing. Okay, now so when you paraphrase, you will never ever enter into the suspicions of plagiarism. Why? The teacher saw your paper. Excellent English grammar. And then look at you, ESL students. Immediately they said, whoa, this is very suspicious. Perfect English. And then the teacher said, I don't even write this kind of a style. And the ESL student write this. The teacher don't even need to think. They understand this is a copy, this is plagiarized. Okay, so make sure to use your own words. So when they received the paper and saw, well, that's very simple English with a very nice explanation, and they know that's your own work. Okay, so that's important of paraphrasing. Number 4, steps to writing with Therapians. You need to start with planning your research. Keep detailed notes of all resource consult. Okay, that's the reason why when you write, if you don't use the notebook, then always writing with your paper, with the computer. But every time you cite something, and then you make sure to record your notes, detailed notes. Don't neglect what the detailed notes, because that is a part of your important research, and then that is your support. And without those kind of support, then it's difficult to prove yourself that you are not plagiarized. Now, draft your paper. Use Theribian structure for headings, body text, and reference. Now, that's the beginning of your writing your term paper, okay? So draft your paper. Now, usually you want to have a title. Once you have a title page, title concept, then you need to have a theme, okay? The theme is what you want to accomplish, or what's the purpose to reflect to the topic. Once you have a theme, then based on the theme, to start your outline. And you have to realize that is the structure, okay? Once you have an outline, you pretty much you already have this kind of structure building up. Usually that you have the introduction, and then you have a conclusion. But then in the middle are your major points. Now, the best way for the term paper is 3 to 5 points, okay? 3 to 5 outline. Now, if you get 12 outlines, that's too much, okay? And your teacher is already, faint, okay? Now, 3 outlines is the most nice to structure your theme. 5, okay, but more than 5 is a little bit too much, okay? Unless you have a very wonderful argument. Otherwise, I would suggest 3 to 5 points. Now, have you seen my sermon? Most of the time, is 3 points, okay? Because from the human brain, 3 points is the most nice way to remember. And that's also applied into your structure of your paper, dissertation, and thesis. Okay, now, next one, add the citation. Once you have the structure, and put the citation in. And follow Theribian's guidelines to cite every source you use, and include a direct quotes, paraphrase, and idea. Okay, even paraphrase, you want to quote this from this concept, and then you even can explain in the footnote that the whole paraphrasing is from the concept of this particular author, and his original words is this. You can quote, and then so the people can compare with the original quote and your paraphrasing, and that's okay. Okay, but if you just find the person who write the concept, and that is also okay, because you gave the people the direction to find where to find the original quote, and create a bibliography or reference. Now, again, some of the book emphasizes reference. Some of the guideline called as a bibliography. So when you look at my dissertation, it's always bibliography. Now, but some of the published book, they don't have a bibliography, but they have a reference, but they are the same thing, okay? So compile a comprehensive list of source at the end of your paper. So that's a bibliography or reference. And then proofread and revise. Now, a lot of students don't have time, so they don't proofread. Well, that is not a good thing, okay? You always want to check whether there's any errors of citation, formatting, or overall coherence. And in the early time, we don't have a computer. We type our term paper, graduate paper, with a typewriter. Now, you know, that's very difficult. And if you type wrong, take out the whole paper, retype again. And that time, Mrs. Wei helping me to type. And we type until the electronic typewriter burn. Yes, it's so hot. And so we have to carry the typewriter into the snow and cool it down and come back, type again. Very difficult. And but nowadays you have format. You have format. You can even find the Terribian format. Okay, there's a software for the Terribian format, and you find those format, and then you start with those kind of a Terribian format. Guess what happened? I mean, the software will help you to do whatever you want. So nowadays it's much easier, but your responsibility is to cite correctly. Okay, that's the important thing. In the past, we have to do everything ourselves, and but now the computer can do a lot of things for you, but you just need to be honest, be with integrity and with ethics, and cite the right citation. Then your paper will be fantastic. Now, next one is outline for avoiding plagiarism. Now, I give you some tips so you understand what we have done. Number one, yes, ma'am.
Is there an app for proofreading, something like that, to correct, automatically?
Sometimes the software, you have Grammarly. You have the Grammarly, and so once you finish, you can proofread with the software. So now this Grammarly is so powerful. And of course, I mean, sometimes they correct you, or if you don't like, you can change that. Grammarly always wants you to write active sense. Okay, if you use a passive sentence, they will tell you you are using passive sentence. Change the sentence, and I always click dismiss. Because why you want to change my concept? And so you still can control that, okay? But make sure that you have a Grammarly, because Grammarly, actually we have a Grammarly software, and it's free to provide to everybody. And so if you need that, check with the Rapture. We'll give you the link, okay? So very useful. And in the past, we always ask people to proofread for us, but now you have software, then you can use that. And they will give you the indication which one need to change, and you just change accordingly. Then you can have a nice paper. But sometimes it can change in the way that which is not your original meaning. So you need to read to see whether that's your original concept. And
it's always depend on your discretion, right? You can only trust Grammarly to correct the grammar and spelling maybe, but the idea and concept should be kept intact.
Yes. Grammarly can change your grammar, spelling, punctuation, those kind of things. But AI can give you new ideas. So there's all kinds of things you can use as a student today. However, make sure you core that you use those kind of things, okay? You don't have to core say that I use Grammarly. It doesn't mean, but if you use AI, yes, you definitely need to use core that. Okay, now we just mentioned about, we're just going to emphasize understanding what constitutes plagiarism. Now this is some tip outline for you to avoid plagiarism, plagiarism. And then number two, we're going to talk about plan your research process. Number three, use proper citation practice, and then master paraphrasing, and utilize plagiarism directions tools, and then review and revise your work. And number seven, develop ethical writing habits. Now, all the 7 important outline principles that will help you to avoid the plagiarism. So let's quickly look at this 7 important principles, so it will help you to avoid all those plagiarism. Number 1, understand what construct plagiarism. Definition: you using someone else's words, idea, or works without proper acknowledgement, that is plagiarism. Okay, so don't do that. You always want to say, okay, this is some so-and-so's idea or so-and-so's words, and always cite. And if you cite, nobody is going to despise you. Somebody are going to probably respect you because you are scholarly, quoting some authority of this area, okay? And so this is something you need to always remember. And then there are different kinds or types of plagiarism. Number 1 is direct plagiarism, and which means copying text verbatim without citation, so that you actually copy words by words, every word, and not even change or modify the words, and you just quote, but yet you didn't cite who wrote it, and then to let people think that you created that. That is direct plagiarism. Okay. Now the self-plagiarism, reuse your previous work without disclose, which is actually some lazy students and use their own copy or own paper and from New Testament survey and then turn in to New Testament introduction. Same paper. that's a self-plagiarism, okay? We do have people doing that, okay? And they think that the professor don't know. But professor is not that stupid, okay? Make sure you understand. Okay, so don't do that. And you cannot use one paper with the 2 classes. And even sometimes you write the paper and then you quote, you need to always say, this is the paper have done in this class and page so-and-so, and you quote from your own paper. It's okay. It's okay. But you just need to know, you just need to cite the place. But don't let the professor to think that it's a new work. It's an old work. You just need to cite old work. Okay. Number 3 is mosaic plagiarism, patching together phrase from different sources without proper citation, which means that you combine different sources and create a certain kind of a argument, but you didn't say this concept is from author A, this concept is from author B, and so combine these 2 concepts together. Then it's still plagiarism. You need to make sure you're very clear with all those citations. And then number 4 is accidental plagiarism, unintentional failing to cite resource. It is not intentional, but you forgot what happened. That is accidental plagiarism. You still fall into that category of plagiarism. So most of the time, it's direct plagiarism. They don't want people to know, or they are lazy and they copy everything. So that's most of the time will happen. But the rest, small in number, but happen. So you need to know all those things are categorized as plagiarism. Now, plan your research process, organize source, keep detailed notes, including full citation details for every reference. So you need to be careful with those kind of works. So when you do that, when you write your paper, you're not going to fall into that kind of pit and then being questions whether you copy the wrong source. And highlight idea. Clearly distinguish your own thoughts from the source you consult. Okay? Now, make sure that if you have your original thoughts, and then find out that the thoughts that you can find different books, then make sure that you always quote. And you said, my idea is this, and it so happened this author also shared the same idea. It's okay, okay? Otherwise, you still fall into those kind of plagiarism. Then use tools. If you finish, but you don't know whether you fall into the plagiarism or not. Now, there's a tool like the citation manager, the software like Zotero, and if you have those kind of software, you can just click on the button. It will check with your paper to see whether you have any portion that fall into this plagiarism. Okay, Mendeley also is a software that you can use, and it will tracks whether you forgot to cite. And so those software are very expensive, but yet it's going to be helpful to avoid plagiarism. So plan your research properly. Number 3, use proper citation practice. Know your citation style. Understand the formatting rules for APA, MLA, and Chicago writing style. Now, remember, Chicago writing style is actually the style. However, Caribbean is the simplified Chicago style. So they are actually the same, but the Caribbean is much simplified and easy, friendly use than the Chicago manual. So, credit all source. Direct quotation, use quotation mark, and provide a citation. So every time the words is not yours, quote citation, quote and unquote. Okay, don't try to take away the quotation, and so people think that that's your own words. That is wrong. Okay, so always quote and unquote, and make sure that the people understand this is not your word. You just quote and cite from other people. Paraphrase idea, rewrite idea in your own words and cite the source. Now you write your own words, but then in the end, you have a footnote. And then in the footnotes, you cite where you get the idea from. And then you are pretty much scholar and following the scholarly standard. And don't be afraid to do what is acceptable method. Okay, avoid over-reliance on one source. Okay, this concept is that if you only use one source, you just cannot get rid of that concept. I mean, the situation that you are copying the guy's idea, right? But if you use 10 sources, then it's totally different story. Okay, that means you read 10 of them. The chances are maybe students are in a very busy schedule. You don't have time to read 10, so you just follow one. Okay, then that is problem. And so make sure you write your term paper earlier, and so you have more time to do what is right. And so don't rely on one source. And the minimal 3 sources, okay? But then if you have more sources, 10 sources, then that's better. So that's important. And then number 4, master paraphrasing. And I already emphasized this is important, and so you need to understand the text, okay? Now, you need to understand your topic. You need to understand what kind of idea do you want to write, and then you, when you comprehend the source material fully before rephrasing, and that's understand the text. So comprehension is important. Now, how to do the summary or paraphrasing? Find in those contact those texts with keywords, okay? Then use those keywords, make outline, okay? When you have an outline with those material, for example, you have probably 500 words, and then you find key concept, make keywords, and make 3-5 outlines. From that 3-5 outlines, use your own words to explain those keywords. Then that's paraphrasing. Okay, that's summary. Okay, it's not that difficult. You just need to find the words, understand, and then make your own outline and rewrite in your own words. Then you got summary, you got paraphrase. Okay, so understand the text is very important, and then use original language. Avoid using the same sentence structures or vocabularies as the source. And so you need to, when you write paraphrasing, do not follow their structure. And a lot of time you follow the structure, then you copy it. So that's the reason why I suggest you to find the keywords, create the outline, use your own words to explain the outline you create. Then you will never fall into the same structure, sentence structure, or vocabulary, because you just digest all the information already. And still, you need to, even though paraphrase, you still need to cite where you paraphrase. Even if paraphrase, the idea must be cited to its original author. Okay, so that way you are protecting yourself, and you're not stealing the idea. You are still citing this idea is from this particular place. And then, guess what? You are in following the standard of the scholarly work. And that is very important. Then they'll help you in the long run. And no matter what kind of a paper or what kind of books that you are writing, then it's going to be in the perfect scholarly work. Now, writing papers is actually preparing you to write books. You know, actually, term paper is just a small size books. Now, the reason why we are in college is to train you so that you can write your own experience, idea, and form it into a book. And the book will preserve your experience and idea, and also your concept to a long time, because you can teach whatever and to influence certain kind of people. For example, I can teach this class and influence 20, 30 people. But if I write it down and then make a book, then it will influence tens and thousands of people in the future. And even when I die, the books continue to influence people. So that's the reason why the college training you to write is to make sure you have the skill in order to pass along what your experience and your idea, your concept, your creativity, and the creation product. So that's very important, okay? Now, number 5, utilize plagiarism, the detection tools. Use software like Turing, Grammarly, or Copyscape to identify potential plagiarism. So there's a certain software that you can use. Even Grammarly can detect whether this part of a sentence are plagiarized. Okay, so those are the tools you can use. Review flaggy sections and ensure proper citation. So that's something that you make sure that you don't fall into that pit of plagiarism. Now, how about AI? Well, there's also the software, QuickBooks, that will detect whether you are using AI or not. Okay, the software is so powerful that if you put the article into the software will immediately tell you that's a 100% AI. 100%. However, the software also have a paraphrase function. So you push the paraphrase function button, it'll rewrite for you. Then you copy this paraphrase article back to check whether there's AI. Then it will tell you 50% AI. So the computer will help you to rewrite, and so it's not 100% AI. So all kinds of computer skill is there. However, I don't suggest you to use that. Okay, just paraphrase, learning how to paraphrase, learning how to summarize, learning how to use your own words to write. Then that's the best way for long run for you. Number 6, review and revise your work. Proofread your work to check citation and reference. Now, there's a Grammarly and all kinds of software can help. However, you still need to go through one or twice to check because this is your work. Cross-check the bibliography and to ensure all in-text citations are included. Okay, so that's another thing you need to check. So make sure that the whole thing from the first page 1 to the page, the last page is in one accord. And that way you can turn in your paper, term paper, thesis, or dissertation without any problems. Any questions? Any questions?
Dr. Lee, do you encourage the student if they have a time to read more books, but they only read a book? Do you encourage them after the reading they put in a citation if they don't use to cite?
After they use the book?
Yeah, after they read the book, they get some knowledge, but they did not really cite the sentence.
Okay. If they don't use the idea, but they just increase their understanding, I don't think that's necessary. But if they specifically use certain idea, and then they need to cite. However, if they benefit from a book, but did not paraphrase or cite anything into the major text, they can put it into the bibliography or reference. And like my dissertation, there's a certain book, a lot of books that I actually benefit, but I didn't cite it, but I put it on the list. Yeah. Okay, now quickly, this is also a habit you need to develop. How to develop ethical writing habits. Number 1, time management. Now, the reason why we will fall into that copy plagiarism is really because we did not manage our time wisely. we always pushing our paper and rush and last minute works, and so that when you have a last minute work, then there's always temptation to plagiarize. Okay, I mean, you have only 1 hour, but now your brain is fried. I mean, it's really, I mean, nothing, empty. And but you need to turn it in the paper. So what is the best way? Well, copy some people's work. That's much easier. And so when that happens, then that is wrong. Okay. So make sure you have a very good time management. Now, in my orientation 101, I always teach you that manage your time earlier, prepare your things earlier, so make sure that you don't have a rush work. I understand college students. I mean, I've been in the school for decades. However, if you learn how to plan your events or plan your work nicely early, then you don't have to worry about those copy other people's work or plagiarism. Also, original thoughts. Prioritize developing your own analysis and arguments over relying heavily on sources. So you always want to start your own concept, original thought. Okay, so and always trying to train yourself and to think from different aspects. Okay, now when you look at this particular author, his argument is this, and you need to try to see, is this really only answer? Can there be other different kinds of answer and also correct? And that's the concept you need to train yourself. So when you have created original thoughts, then you don't have to copy other people's idea, and also you can create your own idea. Then it's always been your own right to write whatever you think. And so it's just very important in the process that you avoid plagiarism, is that you learn how to comprehend the source, and then you learn how to create your own idea. And that two important pillars of your writing will help you to go a long way instead of just always copying. Okay, so that's developing the thing. Now, we do have some more information, but I want you to take a few minutes break, and then we'll come back. So let's take another 10 minutes break. Hopefully, we're going to finish up this session soon. Okay, let's take a few minutes break. you, and there's still a lot of information that I cannot cover. For example, the Bible verse about the integrity and ethics, but I think we probably need to skill that. And but again, if you need all this information, please let me know. In particular, the Caribbean's 9th edition. Okay, if you want to buy, that will be $30, $50. But if you let me know you need it, $0. Okay, free. Okay, so make sure that let me know. Okay, let's pray. Father, we are so grateful for this time that we can come together again to learn together. May the Lord help us so that we can prepare ourselves well in order to present our papers and the writing in a proper manner with the integrity and ethics. Thank you for this time. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Now quickly, practical idea for avoiding plagiarism. Number one, cite as you write. When you write, don't forget, every time you come up with some citation, make sure you cite. And avoid waiting until the end of your work to add citations, document them during the writing process. Because if you don't do it now, then you're not going to do it later. And sometimes it will be difficult to do it later. So make sure you cite as you write, and that's important. Number two, practice summarization. Again, I have not just one time emphasized summarization. Regular practice summarizing content in your own words to strengthen your paraphrasing skill. Okay, very important. I mean, I gave a lot of students the time to summarize, and as long as they summarize, I'll give them 100%, and so that they will never fail my class. But many of them fail my class is, number one, they don't summarize, or even they summarize, they just copy, and it's not summarized. And when they did that, they will definitely fail because they don't learn how to paraphrase and understand the content. And so this is very important. When you see summarized, that means it is your time to practice understanding, comprehension, and so you'll be able to not only write but also to understand. So it's very important. Practice summarization all the time. Now, you need to learn the skill is that every time you see a paragraph or certain kind of a article in English, immediately practice in your mind says, how am I going to use my own words to say the same thing? That's the practice you need to do every day, every moment. Can I say this in different ways, in my own way? Can I say this way? Can I say that way? Can I understand in this way? So when you keep on learning or paraphrasing this every day, then soon you're going to have this very strong skill that when you look at the page, then you can immediately summarize with your own words. That's the college education not is all about, but that's one of the very important tools you can learn in the college education. Now, number three, consult instructors. If unsure whether you are plagiarizing, ask for guidance on proper citation practice. For example, if you don't know whether you are citing the wrong thing or have the suspicions to plagiarize, make sure to go to your instructors and ask them what to do. And they will definitely give you a direction. And they're not going to cheat you and then to expel you. So your teacher, your instructor are there to help you. So if you are not sure about certain kind of area, make sure to talk to them. I mean, and if you need me, I mean, I'm always around, and so I'll be happy to help. Okay, consult your instructor, very important. Number 4, check academic guidelines, review institutional rules on plagiarism and citation, and check with the manual, check with your academic dean of academic affairs, and check with the professors, and they will be happy to help you and check with the guidelines and make sure that you follow the guideline. And number 5, attend workshops, something like this, okay? And participate in writing or research ethics workshop offered by your school or institution. Now, so you guys are going to be benefit when you're writing your dissertation paper because you come, and at least you know. But those who did not come, sorry for them. And they're going to lose a great benefit. Honestly, I mean, when you learn this, even though you already know a lot, but when you're being reminded how to avoid this plagiarism, it's going to help you be more alert. And so when you write papers, then you'll be more precise and then be trustworthy. So this is important. And number 1, sorry. So now let me give you the outline. This is 5 tips that you need to know. Cite as you write, practice summarization, consult instructors, check academic guidelines, and then attend workshops. That's practice ideas for avoiding plagiarism. Now again, this explanation, all this program was generated by OpenAI's ChatGPT, a large language model trained on diverse data sets. So you can check on this particular link in order to find all the information I just shared to you. Okay? That means I also quote from the citation. Okay. Now quickly, I do have one more lessons to share with you, and here I don't think our Caribbeans has all this information, so I want to share with you. This is our meeting schedule, and the next concept is quoting work generate by AI. This is new information, and most of the Caribbeans and update the information or manual did not put this into their consideration yet. And however, I think it's very important to share with you because some of you or all of you will not cannot avoid use AI. And the AI is a trend. And but how can we, as an academic institution, use AI properly without plagiarism, without falling to the plagiarism? Now, so that's important lessons that we need to learn. Quoting work generated by AI, such as using content created by tools like ChatGPT, should adhere to established academic and ethical standards to ensure transparency and integrity. What does that mean? That means you can use AI, however, you still need to let the professors or the readers know that you create all these things by using AI. That's transparency and integrity with an ethical standard. So you cannot use AI and to pretend that you actually create all those information. That's cheating. That's plagiarism. And so if we can use information from the book, from the internet, from any other source, and when we use AI to generate the certain kind of information for us, it's not wrong. But you just need to tell what is the truth. If you created that, then fine. Just present that way. But if you don't create that, then tell us where you create those kind of information. Then you are still maintain your integrity. The chance may be that the people will say, written by Dr. Christian Wei, but yet it's not your work. You actually just key in some instruction and AI generate everything for you. And then you are presenting that you are the author, then you are cheating not only the reader and professor, and also cheating for yourselves. So that's the reason why we want to make sure that when you use AI, make sure that you did that, okay? Quote the right quotation. And of course, if your teacher say no AI, well, please don't use AI, okay? But if your professor say, sure, you can use AI, but only 50%, then you still need to write 50% of your own work, okay? But make sure, check with your professor first. Otherwise, you're going to face consequences. So here's a proper way to quote AI's work in research or academic writing. So we are going to share with you some guidelines to help you. Acknowledge the AI tool as the resource or source. Now, AI is a tool, is a source, and we definitely can use that, but use the proper way. Clearly state that the information or text was generated by AI, just like I did. Okay? Now, all the information, even though I try to instruct all this information to you, but I did generate from AI. Okay, it's not my own work. I did not create all those work, but I definitely quote from AI so that I can present to you the information necessary and need. So generated by AI. For example, you need to write this explanation or this program or this seminar or this kind of PPTs or this kind of a paper was generated by OpenAI's ChatGPT, a large language model trained on diverse data sets. Now that's the quotation you need to tell people. And so people understand that you are not the owner of those information. You are actually create those information to present to your students, and in that situation, it's not necessarily wrong. It's actually, proper way to use those kind of information. Number two, use a citation format. Follow the citation style required for your work. You need to use APA, MLA, or Chicago, those kind of writing style. Now again, let me emphasize, Caribbean is part of the Chicago writing style, and it's a summarized or simplified the style from Chicago style. Now here are examples in different style. Number one, APA, most of the modern days we use 7th edition. This is American Psychological Association style. So they call it APA. Now our education system sometimes use APA style. Now this is the way they quote. They only quote limit information, not like Caribbean. So they said OpenAI 2024, the response generated using ChatGPT retrieved from this particular link. So when you go to this link and then find this information, you can find the AI, the article generated by AI. So that's the APA style, okay? Now again, if I give you a quiz, this is definitely information, a very important quiz that you need to know. What is API? APA? Well, that's American Psychological Association Style. Okay, APA. Now we use APA all the time, but a lot of people do not know what APA actually means. Okay, and then the next one is MLA. What is MLA? Modern Language Association Style. So MLA is looking like this. Open AI, instead of put the date or year in front, they put in the back. Okay. Respond, generate using ChatGPT 2024, and then the link. Okay, so this is a Modern Language Association style. Now you just need to familiar with this style. Usually they just give you all this information, so you can find information from those links. We are using Chicago Theripian style, and this is Chicago style, which is the manual of Chicago, which is published by the Chicago University, and but Theripian is one of the author and summarize all those Chicago's manual in order to present a simplified manual. And then because that is very popular in the 30s, so everybody now using Theripian instead of using the Chicago manual, writing manual. Okay, so now we call it Theripian style. Now this is the way, and they give more information, and OpenAI response generate using ChatGPT 2024, but then they emphasize assessed November 21st, 2024, which means that they gave us more information when you have assessed this kind of information. Why they use assessed? Which means that those information already been there, okay? Because this is a database, and you have all the information already there. So you just need to give the key and the guideline and draw those information out, and that's the date you draw and the place you can find. That's the format we use, the Theripian's style. Okay, now so you definitely can use that, but then quote the right quote, and so people can go to the link in order to find. Now this is only just the main address. Now I'm going to, later on you're going to see that what I have given to you is going to give you more information or numbers. That's the exactly place that you can click in to find the information that the person draw from. Access, okay. Now ensure context and attribution. Describe the purpose and scope of AI generate the content. For example, to clarify the concept of academic integrity, text generated by OpenAI ChatGPT was included to provide a concise explanation. So you want to make sure that you use those AI with a certain purpose to show that your integrity. And so make sure that you always want to tell people that all those information is actually the draw assets from the OpenAI ChatGPT, and so it's not your own creation, okay? Now, so that's in short, context and attribution. Avoid misrepresentation. Do not present AI generate content as your own original work. Okay, this is always temptation. You want people to think that you are kind of smart, and but yet when you did not call from the AI, then actually you're putting yourself into a very dangerous situation of cheating. So don't do that. You always want to say, okay, I'm not the creator of that. I'm just a person use the AI and to create those information to benefit the students and benefit the academic success or learning. And that is okay. I mean, nobody actually are the creator, only the God is the creator. We all borrow brains. Borrow brains is not shame, but cheating is shame. Okay, so don't feel bad to borrow other people's information, but you just need to be honest to tell people, I borrowed this person's information, and I think he said better than me, so let me quote from him. That is important. It's not shame, but a hide from the original work and the original author, then that is shameful. Okay, always attribute and clarify its roles in your paper or project. So no matter what happened, always quote and cite, this is from AI, it's not from me, and that's more important. Number 5, cross-verified AI generate information. AI tools might provide outdated or incomplete information. Okay, so you need to understand some of the AI, they may not be giving you the update information. For example, when I check, tell me who wins the US president election. They cannot tell me. Sometimes they've been manipulated, okay? Well, one is because they are not yet updated information, but also there's a possibility the whole media is controlling those information. Okay, there's a possibility. And so you need to always verify the information generated by AI is correct. Okay, how can we do that? Of course, you need to check several different sources to make sure that those information are correct. And so make sure that you know that the AI is good, but it's not sovereignty. Okay, AI can do a lot of things, but he is not God. So you cannot depend on totally on the AI. And ensure accuracy by cross-reference with the authoritative source. Okay, so AI is good, and by all means, use AI to save your time, and by collecting all the information from different individual books, you can always get the information from AI. Now, the more precise order or precise instruction that you gave to AI, the better information you're going to collect, okay? But if you just, with a very vague idea, just said that, tell me about Chinese New Year, well, then you probably will get a very vague idea, okay? Tell me about New Year, particular the original concept about red packet. Why we need to give money to the children in the red package? Or can we not give children money in the red packet? Well, then the AI is going to give you all kinds of information because you ask very precisely. Okay, so that's the concept you need to learn. And again, the more precise information or instruction that you gave to the AI, the AI is going to give you more in return. Recently, a friend asked me to write a biography of my friend. So I just try AI. I say, give me the resume of this person. Then immediately the AI responds, can you give me more information about this person? Now they don't know this person until I gave them information. So I gave them basic concept, which year, how old of them, and what kind of ministry, and those kind of things. Well, the AI wrote 3 pages, narrative, all the detail, and I sent it to my friend, and my friend says, "Oh, this is really touching. I mean, it's a great, great works, and very touching because I mean, the person actually suffered a lot for the Lord, and smart Bibles into former Soviet Union, and so that I just give you the information, but the AI described the detail. Can you imagine? So I'll encourage you to use AI, but to make sure that you put the citation. It's not my work. It's from AI.
Did you give him credit to AI?
What's that?
Did you tell him that it was from AI?
I said that I can teach you how to do that. I haven't tell I haven't tell the guy says it's from AI, but eventually I will tell him. Well, actually, I generate from the AI. Yes, you're right. I need to tell him. But see, to use AI, you can do a lot of things. However, make sure to cite correctly, quote rightly, then it's okay. Okay. Now, the final thought: ethical implication. Quoting AI respect the intellectual contribution of the tool's creators. So when you quote this is from AI, even though you didn't quote the names of creators of the AI, but you do contribute and you do recognize, respect the person who involved into those kind of development, and that's what we want to do. Okay, and using good tool to accomplish our goal is good, but to also mention about what kind of tools we use is also important, and that's a Christian principle. It demonstrates academic honesty and fosters trust in your work, and so you need to understand that. Institutions are developing specific guidelines for AI attribution. Consult your institution policy if available. Now, right now, most of the institutions do not have this kind of a policy yet, but I believe it's going to have a more guidelines, information, or policy going to happen. So we better have some policy that ahead of everybody. So when we use AI, nobody is questioning us whether we copy, plagiarize, or falsification. And so we can be honestly saying, yes, we use AI, and then we did that so that nobody can question us, our integrity. Now again, you can see that this is the home page, and this number, if you click on, you can find all the information, all the instruction, and all the condition that I asked the AI to generate all those information. Okay. Any questions? Okay. You can download AI free, and you can also purchase AI with advanced skill. However, I think right now there's a free AI you can use. There are also different programs you can use, but it's very important that you always want to use properly. Okay, so now we still have a few minutes. Let's pack up, and then we'll go to Bravo for lunch. Okay. Don't forget to write your survey. Now, please make sure to write the right kind of survey. If you truly have a suggestion, please write it in a way more constructively. And if you just said, if you just say nothing, we don't know what to do. Criticize is no use for us. And if you just, if you feel that you really get a lot of things, that's good. We're very happy. And but give us an instruction or constructive suggestion, so we'll be able to improve. Okay? Sorry. Okay then. Let's pray, and then we'll get ready, and we go to Bravo for lunch. Oh, Father, we are so grateful for this time, and may the Lord be with us and use us mightily for thy glory, and help us, Father, to improve our academic success, and not only our students, but also our faculty staff, to know how to teach properly and how to research properly, and so that we will be able to start a good foundation to train many more to be good Christian scholars. Thank thee, Father, for this time. Bless our people. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Yes?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you please fill it out and then send it to Jenny so that at least she can give you a gift card?
Right. If you don't tie in, you're not going to have gift card.
Gift card will be in physics and
Then you cannot get that pot. You know, you can cook instant noodle.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you.